Welcome back to our new Primary 1 boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed our assembly last week, finding out a little bit more about the school that you're going to be coming to after the holidays. And I am very much looking forward to meeting you all when you come. Now, if you remember last week, I introduced you to our 4 school values, our 4 characters, and I have one of them with me today, this one here. This one is our connected character. Our connected character is called Link. And Link is with me today because I think that's what we're doing. I'm trying to make connections with you so that when you come into Primary 1, you will recognise who I am and you'll know a little bit about school before you get there. So Link's been really useful in helping me to think of ideas about how we can keep connected with you in your journey to school. So let's see if we can remember what we learned last week in assembly. So my name is Mrs. Goddard and I'm the Deputy Head Teacher for Nursery and Primary 1. And last week you also met Mr. McLean, who's our Head Teacher, and soon you're going to be meeting the teachers that are going to be teaching you in Primary 1, which is very exciting. They're going to prepare a little video to say hello to you as well. And our school is called James Gillespie's Primary School, and you can see there the unicorn, which you're going to be seeing a lot of, which is the symbol of our school. And next to our unicorn, we've got our 4 values that I introduced you to last week as well. So we've got Kit, Kenmore, Candy, and Link. I already said you're going to be meeting the teacher who's going to be teaching you in Primary 1 next year, and your class has a name. So we are called Primary 1, but in Primary 1 we have 3 classes, and they're called Primary 1A, Primary 1B, and Primary 1C. But in Primary 1 we divide our classes into 4 groups. So the classes are really known as Primary 1A, which is called Oak, and they have an oak leaf as their symbol. Primary 1B is 2 groups, that's Maple and Birch, and Primary 1C is known as Willow. So when you find out what class you're in, you will also have the name of a leaf for you to learn and remember, because that will be the group that you will be spending your time with in Primary 1. There are lots of things you can do to practice getting ready for coming into Primary 1. Now, a lot of these things I am sure you would have been doing in your nursery as well, but at the moment we're not all managing to go to nursery. So these are some tasks that we can be practicing at home before starting school. Now you'll see on the picture there's a little boy there changing his shoes. So in our school, when we come into school, we change our shoes before we go into the classroom. Now, not every nursery does that, so that might be new for some children. Some children might already have been doing that and know exactly how that works. But that means you have to be able to take your outdoor shoes off and put your indoor shoes on all by yourself. There are lots and lots of boys and girls in Primary 1, and there are adults there to help, but there are not as many adults as there would be in nursery. So it's really helpful to us if there are already boys and girls who can do that. And when you're coming into school, it's a really good idea not to have shoes with laces, because if you can't tie your laces, then that means you would need to get an adult to help you every single time you changed your shoes. So if you already know how to do that, that's brilliant, and we'll be very impressed with that and very proud of you. But a good tip is to have shoes that have Velcro on them so we can easily get them off and put them back on again. And it's not just first thing in the morning, we have to do that before we go out for play outside, and then when we come back in again, and the same when we go out at lunchtime and back in again, and at the end of the day. So mums and dads at home can appreciate how many times we're having to change our shoes. You'll see how important it is to learn how to do that before coming into school, or to keep working on it when you get there. Because remember, we can also think about candy and have a can-do attitude and say, I can't do it yet, but I am practicing, and that's really important. We also bring a water bottle into school. So when you come into school in the morning, you put your water bottle in a tray, you'll have a snack with you, and you pop that in another box for later in the day. And those are all things that you have to learn to do yourself. So you have to unpack your bag, take those things out and put them into the right places. And it doesn't take long to learn how to do that. And on the last picture, you'll see all the boys and girls there still getting ready in the morning. So they've got to take their coats off, they've got to change their shoes, got to hang it up on their own peg where their name is, and then go into their classrooms. So there's lots of other things that we need to learn about in Primary 1, not just learning about letters and numbers and finding out about new topics and things. We also have to learn how to take care of ourselves as well. So when we go into the classroom, we have little logs that you'll see in the picture there, and your name will be on one of those logs. And those logs are for you to register and say that you're at school today. So you take your log and you pop it into the basket to let the teacher know that you're in, and then the teacher can mark it on the register. So that's another little job that you do yourself. And then because our learning in Primary 1 is play-based, we don't have very much space because we have designed the classrooms to have lots and lots of play zones and play areas, just like in nursery. So we don't need to have a huge big school bag because we don't have lots of things to put inside it. So you'll notice that is the 2 boxes there for the Oak class to put their bags in. That is the only space that we have, and you'll see in the other picture they slip underneath a table. So we don't have a place where loads and loads of bags can go into a huge big massive box. We don't have space on our pegs to hang the bags up. So it's really good when you're choosing your school bag that you think of something slim or something small, or something easy to put into when all the things come out, to pop into that box and not take up too much space. Because really in Primary 1, all we need is our water bottle, our snack, and that's it. And later on, you'll have a reading book that you'll be taking home as well, but you don't have lots of things to bring, so you don't need a big bag. Other activities that we do in Primary 1, so we are not in the classroom all the time. Every class in Primary 1 has an outdoor day. An outdoor day means that we do lots of things outside of our classroom. So we might go to the library. We've got a library in our school, and you can borrow a book there. And you can see the boy in the picture there, he's actually scanning his own books. We teach the boys and girls how to do that, to take your book out. We also go into the gym hall and have a gym session as well. You can see the boys and girls there with their teacher doing some activities in the hall with balls. We spend time in our Primary 1 gardens. We have a special garden with lots of play areas for the children to play in. You'll see there's a sand pit and we've got a water wall, and there's some loose parts that you'll be familiar with from nursery. Those bricks are in most of the nurseries, so I'm sure you will recognise them. And we have some small world, and there's some planting areas there as well. So we spend some time out in the Primary 1 garden doing some outdoor play. And we also spend the afternoon of that day outside doing outdoor learning, and lots of things happen. The teachers plan lovely activities outside. We have a huge big woodland area, so on that day we go and sometimes we build dens. You can see the boys there hiding under the blanket there, making a den. We use the climbing equipment there. We've got tires and logs and lots of things that we can build and make things with. And you can also see some children there, looks like they're going on a hunt. They've got a big, huge, big clipboard, and they're searching and looking to try and find things. So on that outdoor day, all year, you go out with your class to do outdoor learning. And so it's really important that on that day, you wrap up warm, make sure you've got plenty of layers on, because you will be spending most of the afternoon outside. So that brings me to some of the things that are good to think about for coming into school, because when you're in nursery, you go to nursery, in your own clothes. But in school, we have something called a uniform, which means that we have a t-shirt and a sweatshirt that has the badge of our school on it, and all the boys and girls have the same one, and that helps us to know we're all from the same school and all part of the same team. So that's what the sweatshirt looks like. That's an example, and it has the little unicorn on it. There you also might have a t-shirt like that one. It's called a polo shirt. It has a little collar and it also has the unicorn on it too. This is our book bag. So these are what we recommend to bring into Primary 1 because they fit the reading book when we get it, and they're also perfect to pop your little snack box or your water bottle inside and carry into school, and they fit beautifully in our little boxes and don't take up very much space. And you can get these in different colours with the unicorn on it as well. This is a gym bag, so because we have a gym day and we have to change for gym, we have different things to put on and we need to keep that in school. We usually wear shorts and t-shirt and you need somewhere to keep those, and the gym bag has a drawstring bag like that, and that can also be a really handy bag for bringing your snack and your water bottle in too, because once they come out, that is also nice and small to fit into our box in the classroom. Your PE kit might look like this, a t-shirt and some shorts. It's really good to have a water bottle with you, so you can take drinks of water all through the day and you can refill your bottle as well, and it's really good for our brains to make sure that we have lots of drinks of water during the day. Welly boots are fantastic for our outdoor day, and also because our school has a huge big woodland area, and when the weather is not very nice it can get quite muddy when you're playing there, so welly boots are really handy for Primary 1s, otherwise we end up with lots of muddy shoes and lots of muddy trousers. So it's good to have a pair of welly boots, and I know that certainly in our nursery that's something that the boys and girls are encouraged to have because of messy play out in the garden. And waterproof trousers and waterproof jacket or an all-in-one waterproof suit is also a really good suggestion for that outdoor day when we're doing our outdoor learning in the woodlands, because it will help to keep you dry and help to keep you warm, and also will help if it's a windy day as well. So it's really good to be dressed for the weather, and all the teachers dress for the weather too. You can tell when it's outdoor day for each class because the teacher will be dressed in all weather clothes for going outside. And this is an example of an indoor shoe. So this is a gym rubber, and you can change into gym shoes like these and put them on for going into the classroom, and they're also good for doing gym in as well. Some people will just bring an extra new pair, a different pair of trainers, as long as it's a different pair of shoes to the ones that you wear outside, but that they can also do exercise in the gym hall in as well. And then that spare pair of shoes is really useful. So lots and lots of things to think about and lots of things to get ready for, but these are things that you might not have seen before because we wouldn't be wearing clothes like this or having things like all of these things here when we're in nursery, and that's a bit of a difference for you. So it was really nice to speak to you all again this week and to tell you a little bit more about our school. We really look forward to meeting you soon, and the next time I'm back to speak to you, I will be bringing your teachers with me, well, on video because we can't all be together just yet, but they will be there to say a special hello to you. So I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.